Hi friends, it's Katie Steinberg here with you again with this week's message from Missing Peace. But before we get to that, I'd like to remind you that coming up this week at Missing Peace is The Big Quiet. So an experiment in the sacredness of silence. Something like that. So that'll be at the Bailey River Bridge, which is in North Beach Street, Norman Beach. And all the details of that are online on our website, on Facebook, and all of our other outlets. So you can find information about that. And then the following week, the 17th, is Sunday Soul Brunch. And this time we're supporting Provision Packs, who sends backpacks full of food home with hungry kids for the weekend. So we hope for a big turnout for that, and anything that comes into Missing Peace in that month of December will go to Provision Packs and that effort and all the funds that are raised by the event. So we hope that you will be in touch for all of those. And last week we were tying scarves around trees in downtown Daytona Beach. So I will share the message with you and give you some more information about that. So without further ado, this week's message from Missing Peace. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's one of the essential tenets that Missing Peace is founded on, and why we serve as a regular part of our gathering. It's found 27 different places in the Christian scriptures. And some version of this call to care for one another is found in all the major religions and most civic organizations too. But instead of love our neighbor as we love ourselves, the louder and even more common message is fear your neighbor and protect yourself. Psychologically, that allows us to create space between ourselves and the other, and therefore separate our fate from theirs. Then we can blame all the need we see on bad choices we'd never make. So then we're safe, right? But the truth in our area and in many these days is that over 60% of the population is one paycheck away from homelessness. These are not some distant people who've made bad choices. These are quite literally our neighbors, and statistically speaking, some of you watching. Where would you be without your familial relationships? Something no one earns, by the way. And a financially crushing medical incident or natural disaster or layoff happens. And once a person is homeless, it's nearly impossible to apply for jobs without an address to put on applications and resumes. And one of the biggest hurdles is lack of food and sleep. Have you ever been hangry? Ever had trouble thinking clearly after a night of no sleep? What if that was every day? I know a lot of you moms and dads can relate to the zombie-like state of newborn parenthood. So what? Will tying scarves around trees fix homelessness or the issues leading to it? No. But will it change us in the process? And might it bring some hope and connection with the local community, with the people labeled other? And could it cause us to think about these issues in a way that's not angry and divisive, but constructive, building good people on both sides of the gift? And might it sow seeds of empathy and help us question why it is the way it is, and dream of alternatives? There was a survey done of rescuers during the Holocaust, and they found that there were two things that all rescuers had in common. One, they were people with empathy. They could imagine what it would be like to be the other. And two, they were people who asked why. Why does it have to be this way? Those two traits were the most common among the heroes of one of the world's darkest times. Similarly, the largest movement in the history of the world was successful because they took care of people the rest of society neglected. They gathered around meals and talked around teachings of hope and peace, and no one went away hungry. So will we change the world today? I don't think so. But we will build empathy for our neighbors experiencing homelessness. And we will question the systems that have led to it. And in doing so, we will be a bit more like the ancient radical rabbi that has inspired billions of people to care for those with the least. But it's our choice, really. Will we change the world today? Is this the spark that changes the way we think and hope and act and do? If we choose to let it, I believe it can be. Amen. As always, thanks for watching the message from Missing Piece this week. And again, I want to invite you to come next week to The Big Quiet, which is an experiment in the sacredness of silence. And the following week is our big Sunday Soul Brunch at Orman Brewing Company. We have Gray playing our music, and they're phenomenal. We have Cracker Barrel catering the meal, and all the proceeds will go to Provision Packs, which again sends home backpacks of food with hungry kids for the weekend. So I hope you'll come out for that on the 17th. You can get your tickets at ormansmissingpiece.com or on our Facebook. There's a link, or feel free to message me, and I'm happy to share that information with you. And I'll just throw a quick pitch in for our Christmas Eve service, which will also be at Orman Brewing Company at 4 p.m. It's a potluck, so bring something to share. We'll have music. The kids do their own interpretation of the Nativity story, which is always hilarious and wonderful. And I want to invite you to that as well. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And we hope to see you in the flesh sometime. And the best way to do that is to text PEACE to 33222 to get a weekly update about where this nomadic community is venturing next. Until then, grace and peace.